In World of Warcraft, the mantle of leadership for both the Horde and Alliance has changed hands a number of times through the expansions. The King of Stormwind was, at one point, a young Anduin Wrynn. Not yet at the age to govern the Alliance, true power was given to High Lord Bolvar Fordragon until he either came of age or, as was the case, the true king, Varian Wrynn, returned. The Horde had been led by the Orc Thrall since its formation. It was then passed down to his friend, turned genocidal traitor, Garrosh Hellscream. With his defeat, the mantle of Warchief was given to the troll leader Vol'jin for his role in upholding the Horde's honor. Now, with the Legion once again invading Azeroth, the forces of the Horde and Alliance must put aside their differences to defend their shared world. King Varian Wrynn and Vol'jin have a mutual respect for one another. These leaders are in the unique position to forge an alliance stronger than any of the past, but fate always throws a curveball in terms of the lore of World of Warcraft. While attacking the Legion forces upon the Broken Shore, both Varian Wrynn and Vol'jin fall to the overwhelming demons led by Gul'dan. Albeit, one died a little more heroically than the other. With their deaths come a lot of questions for the storyline of Legion. Obviously, Vol'jin elevates the undead leader, Sylvanas, to Warchief of the Horde, and the crown of the Alliance will pass to Varian's son, Anduin. But these resolutions aren't as clear-cut as they may seem. During the Broken Shore event, the Gilnean leader, Gen Greymane, witnessed what he deduced as a betrayal by the Horde. Sylvanas Windrunner was designated to command her undead archers to help clear the skies of Legion forces, but she turned her forces around to help Vol'jin and his dwindling army. As Sylvanas is now Warchief, and Gen a staunch advisor to the King of Stormwind, there's obviously going to be a lot of tension between the Horde and Alliance during this troubling period of transition. Anduin, now King of the Alliance, has always been a diplomatic leader, valuing peaceful solutions over full-blown conflict. But, with Gen Greymane's words of betrayal resulting in his father's death, perhaps the young king will again rally his people for war. Sylvanas and her Forsaken have been in almost constant war and unease with the Worgen of Gilneas, seeing how the feuding parties neighbor each other. Out of each of the leaders of the Horde, Sylvanas is by far the least sympathetic to the members of the Alliance, a people who see her own as unnatural invaders. She won't shy away from any show of power. If Anduin seeks war, then she'll answer in kind. Of course, both factions face an even greater threat than each other, the Conquering Legion. It's a time of uncertainty, one requiring unparalleled leadership, teamwork, and steady guidance. One small folly could mean the end of all of Azeroth. So this begs the question, why in the world would Vol'jin make Sylvanas Warchief of the Horde? Look at it like this, the Legion's invading, everyone must work together in order to survive and overcome the threat. The Alliance and Horde meet an uneasy agreement to fight as one, but now, the Alliance believes Sylvanas and the Forsaken betrayed them on the Broken Shore. Not only does Sylvanas have a tremendously bad reputation among the leaders of the Alliance, but she's also not very trusted among her fellow Horde. Her tactics and strategies have been seen as self-serving. She hides in the shadows, and only makes plays when it benefits her or her people. She, of course, fights among the Horde in all their campaigns, but the general consensus is that she puts her and her own above all else. Her perceived selfishness only serves to bolster what many in the Horde already believe, that Sylvanas and the Forsaken are untrustworthy and lack true loyalty to the Horde. Go back to the Wrath of the Lich King expansion. The Undercity was taken over by a corrupted Forsaken alchemist named Putris and a host of demons. Putris attacked both Alliance and Horde forces during the Wrathgate event, resulting in untold deaths for both sides. He proclaimed it as the start of the Forsaken Reign, death to the Scourge and death to the living. Of course, at the time, King Varian saw this as an all-out attack on the Alliance by the Horde, and Thrall believed it could have been a potential betrayal on behalf of the Forsaken. Sylvanas assured him that the traitor acted alone and that she still stood with the Horde, but even so, many still see this as a sign of their uneasy truce with the undead. In all, Sylvanas isn't the best candidate when it comes to selecting a Warchief who can empower and lead the Horde as a cohesive unit in the wake of the Legion's invasion. In my opinion, almost any other important Horde figure would have made a better choice. Regent Lord Lothamar of the Blood Elves has served loyally since the betrayal of their former leader. During the Mists of Pandaria expansion, his role and story was expanded, as he felt like his position among the Horde was being stifled as a result of Garrosh's tyrannical rule. He even considered talking to the Alliance with hopes that his Sin'dorei may join their order. This, of course, never happened, thanks to the Horde's campaign against the Alliance, which featured many Blood Elves attacking Darnassus using portals from Dalaran. While he may have wanted to leave the Horde at one point, Lothamar still commanded his people with honor and strength even in the wake of Garrosh's madness. He managed to put aside a long simmering feud with Jaina Proudmoore in order to achieve a greater goal, and he has a positive relationship and history with leaders of the Alliance. These are the traits Vol'jin should have been looking for when naming a new Warchief, especially with the Legion returning to Azeroth. Another choice could have been Bane Bloodhoof, High Chieftain of the Tauren. He's son to the Honorable Cairn, who helped form the Horde by Thrall's side. The two powerful leaders grew quite close and had an unbreakable bond. He served the Horde well even up until his death. Cairn was killed by Garrosh after he assumed the position of Warchief. The Tauren chieftain saw little honor in the way he was leading the Horde and feared for his people's future, so he challenged the Orc to a duel. Cairn was betrayed by the matriarch of the Grim Totem clan, Magatha, who poisoned Garrosh's weapon without his knowledge prior to the fight. With Bloodhoof's death, the Grim Totem clan assumed to occupy the capital of Thunderbluff. Cairn's son, Bane, took leadership of his father's forces, purged the city of their betrayers, and continued to rule as High Chieftain. Ruling in his late father's name, Bane showed great restraint and mercy when he refused to execute Magatha or her Grim Totem Tauren, choosing to instead exile them from their lands. He went on to help Thrall as his father had done in the past, when the Horde retook Orgrimmar and ended Garrosh's rule. Bane has shown great judgment in battle and politics, knowing when it's right to fight and when one is able to spare an enemy. He would have made an amazing Warchief for the Horde. It's not that I think Vol'jin made the wrong decision. Sylvanas may think more of her Forsaken than the other races of the Horde, but she certainly shows respect to them as well. Vol'jin followed the forces he knows and understands, the spirits, the darkness that conceals both him as a shadow hunter and Sylvanas as a banshee. These spirits foretold of her role to come, how she must lead, but step out of the shadows. Yet, when you look at what's going on in WoW and how much stability and trust is needed to overcome this new threat, Sylvanas may not be the best Warchief for the job. Anyway, those are just my thoughts on the whole situation. I'd like to hear yours in the comment section below. Let me know if you think Sylvanas will be a good Warchief for the Horde. If you enjoyed the video, consider throwing it a like, sharing it with a friend, and subbing to the channel. It really helps support future content. As always guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.